And now joining us for more on the startling new survey from Austria, we have Israeli author and journalist with Yediot Achronot, Ben-Dror Yemini. And via Skype, we have Dr. Elana, heideman, the executive director of the Israel Forever Foundation and an expert on Holocaust studies and anti-Semitism. Thank you both again for being with us today.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So first of all, Ben-Dror, what were your initial reactions to hearing the results of this study?
First of all, unfortunately, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because whoever is following what's going on in Europe, in many countries, including Austria, knows that so many people, for example, think, and you can find it in many polls, that what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is just like what the Nazis did to the Jews. It's unbelievable. It's somewhere between 30% to 58% in many countries. I mean, they don't really believe it, but this is the impression. Why they think it and why they say that it's the same? Because they have no idea what happened in the Holocaust. And that's why we see this kind of poll that they don't know what happened in the Holocaust. So they have this kind of ideas because again and again, what they see in their newspaper, it's not information, but mainly misinformation.
Now,
disinformation about the Israeli-Arab conflict.
Now, Dr. Heideman, something tells me that you're not very surprised by these results. What were your reactions?
I'm not surprised at all, and I don't think that it's actually relegated only to Austria, as we know that we have the same problems in Canada, in the United States, even in England, where people are just shocked to learn about the number 6 million, partially as a result, I believe, sometimes of even the mandated Holocaust education. Because if it is in a formula taught, then it is also making it difficult for the common person to relate to. Meaning, if you teach the Holocaust by numbers only, then you're losing some of the substance of the systematic method of extermination, which is so crucial to understanding the uniqueness of the Holocaust. If you don't emphasize the uniqueness, then we end up hearing again and again, people have doubts, they have misinformation. It makes it easier to believe the different forms of denial that are becoming more and more popular today.
Well, but there's the irony, isn't it? Is that if we don't educate on the Holocaust, then people don't know. But if we do educate on the Holocaust, then they kind of reject it. So what's the solution?
The solution, in my opinion, is to look at the many different versions of Holocaust education that are in place, and there are some very successful methods that are being employed, but to look at how the teacher is personally reflective of the material they're teaching, and how are they teaching it in a reflective way that is not politically biased, meaning achieving a particular political agenda, that it is not universalized so as to erase the Jew from Holocaust memory, which is also very, very prominent in methods of education, but also to make sure that there are ways that it is encouraged for the student to take it personally. How does this relate to you, even if you yourself are not a Jew? I think if you look at the story of Austria, even in Lithuania and other countries that actually were involved in the Holocaust, we see a higher rate of personal denial because they don't want to take accountability for their own country's involvement in the persecution and outright murder of Jews.
See, and Ben-Dror, same question. How would you best approach this issue given all of the damage that anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial is doing, and misinformation?
I do know that some education systems, for example, France, they are confronting the problem of Muslims who do not want even to hear about the Holocaust because this kind of very stupid claim, actually, we are the victims. It's not the Jews that are the victims. And what they did in some places, not only in France, is to organize this kind of delegations of high school students to Poland, this kind of what we do from here, from Israel, in the March to Life. And it's working. When people see it, they change their mind, they change their perspective because they see it. It's in front of their eyes.
Well, but not everybody can take a trip to Poland.
Not everybody, but you never need that the majority will join this kind of trips. What you need is that in every school, in every education system, you will have enough people that could deliver the message that something terrible happened. And they don't know. When they don't know, everything is flattered, everything is like, well, nothing was really happening. Well, now we have a much bigger problem. Well, you know, atrocities are happening everywhere. By the way, sometimes it's happening by academics. Sometimes when they compare, when they say that Israel is doing to the Palestinians what Nazis did, I mean, in a way, it's a denial of the Holocaust because people do not understand the severity of what happened. And yes, in one of my encounters, when I came to give a lecture in Boston, and there was a demonstration of Jewish students, JVP, this kind of anti-Israeli, and I asked two demonstrators, how many Palestinians were killed by Israel? One of the students told me 6 million people. They have it in mind. They don't even make the connection between the Holocaust and the Jews and the Nazis. They do the connection with this anti-Israeli propaganda between Israel and what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, which is a tragedy.
Dr. Heideman, final words. Would you like to react?
I think that there is a issue also of how widely spread lies about the Holocaust are through social media, and I agree with Ben-Dror that we have the issue of it being also fed by academia. I think that we need to empower one another by having facts. We just are in the midst of Yom HaShoah. There are ceremonies all over the world, but unfortunately, while memory continues, facts and knowledge are fading and they're becoming easily distortable because we have emotionalized the Holocaust for so many years, and it is very emotional to us. If we want to transmit it to the future, we must be able to narrow down a set of facts and pieces of information that are irrefutable as evidence of the systematic extermination process and how the society and the political agenda was veered in that direction. Only if there is a logic, and there is for many people no logic about the Holocaust, but if we can help the students today and the next generation understand the logic of the events, what were causing them and how they were affecting the societies in order to continue to regurgitate these trends, then perhaps we can see people change their minds and be willing to accept the facts of the Holocaust as fact. Many do not want to believe them as facts because they had happened to Jews. They do not, Holocaust deniers do not negate the facts of other peoples who were persecuted under the Nazis, only the story of Jews. So therefore, we as Israel and as the Jewish nation must do everything we can to ensure that the facts about the uniqueness of the Jewish persecution is emphasized so that the history is made more and more relevant to every individual in the world as a human being, not devoid of the Jewish narrative, which is so crucial to ensuring the memory is perpetuated forever.
All right, Dr. Elana Heideman, Ben-Dror Yemini, thank you both very much for joining us.
Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you.